There's just been a shocking revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than Jay-Z and Beyonce, reportedly taken during a wild party hosted by Diddy. Apparently during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations. Speculation is rife that Diddy intentionally leaked this footage to authorities as a form of revenge against the Carters, allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles.
She done several rappers from Houston. Okay, let's leave it that right there. Second of all, whoever she is, when she was getting banged, she liked to scream a lot. You know what I'm saying? And she was screaming a lot. You know, she was into
scream or sing. What would you
like? Oh, the shit out of me. You know, so it was like, you know, she almost like she's singing, and she's a big time R&B.
Diddy's legal team are playing it rough and leaving no stones unturned to make sure that he never gets to see the four corners of a federal prison, and they are trying to implicate anyone and their mama just to prove that Diddy was just a freak and not a criminal, and now Beyonce's name is getting dragged into it, and is all because of that alleged tape of hers with Pimp C. Well, if the streets are to be believed among the hordes of footage found during the raids, one of it belonged to Beyonce. So let's get into it and break down what's really happening there, saying that if the prosecution is going to dig into Puff's freaky life by bringing in Cassie and the other escorts he had freak-offs with, then the feds need to be looking in Jay-Z's and Beyonce's direction too, because they allegedly have just as much skeletons as he does lying around, and one of them has to do with Pimp C and how his relationship with Beyonce might have had something to do with his untimely passing.
And there's a lot of mysterious celebrities, a lot of mysterious celebrity deaths in hotel rooms.
Wow.
And all these celebrities die in these hotel rooms by themselves. And
what do you think happened then?
I don't know what happened to them, but I know that when you die, everything gets all valuable. I don't, you get marketed in a different way when you're dead. So one of the things you got to look at as soon as a celebrity dies is, was it a homicide?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got all these like mysterious like OD or suicide or just found dead. It's just a lot of celebrities.
You've been paying attention to the news floating around recently. Then you know that ever since Diddy got locked up, there's been a lot of talk about tapes floating about in the industry and celebs trying to buy them up so they don't get leaked to the public. These tapes were supposedly kept by Diddy as some type of leverage. And it looks like Diddy might have had the right idea doing that, because a lot of these celebs are now turning around to deny knowing him or even being around him.
I actually met Beyonce before. That was one of the people like, who you met? You know what I'm saying? It threw you out, like it took you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Beyonce, she I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? And Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce beat.
But when his house got raided, all the tapes got scattered around. Most of them showed multiple big-name celebrities and powerful people bending over and contorting in ways we couldn't imagine. These tapes were allegedly about all kinds of things, from shady business dealings to freak-offs. And one of the tapes in Diddy's possession was rumored to be a tape featuring Pimp C and Beyonce. Pimp C was best known for his work with Bun B as one half of the hip-hop duo UGK. UGK was big in the South. And Bun B, where he said that at their height, UGK recorded their music in the studio next to Destiny's Child. Beyonce was reportedly a fan of theirs and was fangirling enough to get the attention of her father, Matthew Nose, who was her manager at the time. According to Bun B, Matthew pulled Pimp C to the side and straight up told him not to mess with his daughter. Pimp came back to the studio laughing, and it looks like he ended up doing the same thing that Beyonce's dad told him not to do.
You know? A funny story, though, about Beyonce. Back when they were much younger, we had a recording session. This was actually the day that UGK and Fifth Ward Boys recorded Swang Wide. So there's a lot of our guys in there. There's a ton of Rabbi guys in the building. And Destiny's Child is recording in another room in the studio. And so Pimp goes in, they're like Destiny Child over. He's like, oh, I want to meet them. They tight. You know, he goes in, he introduces himself, and I guess Beyonce was kind of taken aback that she was meeting Pimp C. Again, this was before Destiny's Child was a worldwide phenomenon. And so he comes back in the studio, and we're recording and hanging out, and Matthew Knowles comes in, and he asks Pimp, can I talk to you for a minute? And so they leave out for a couple of minutes, and Pimp comes in, and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't f*** his daughter, man. Please don't.
And now, with Diddy's trial officially on, he's drawing attention to the infamous tape of Beyonce and Pimp C that's been going around, and trying to allude to the fact that the tape, along with Pimp's fated relationship with Jay-Z, might have been the reason he got off the way he did. Do y'all remember Big Pimpin'? It was a smash hit, and the only time Jay-Z and UGK ever worked together, and apparently the reason why this was the only collab between UGK and Jay-Z was because Pimp and Jay didn't get along at all. When Pimp C first heard that Rockefeller had cut a $1 million check for UGK to do a song with Jay-Z, he refused to come on board because he felt some type of way about Jay-Z's past relationship with Tupac. He felt like doing a song with Jay was against his principles, and said that Jay should be giving that money to Tupac's mother rather than giving it to them for a song.
I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. All we want is 100,000. I was just like, who's that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my... I was like, what?
When some music execs were trying to get Pimp C to agree to the collab, Jay-Z was also there in the room, and he heard Pimp C straight up talk about the way he felt, and even dissed him.
Jay heard him say that, yo?
Yeah, Jay heard him. He heard him. Because I had to jump up and apologize for this nigga to clean that shit up quick, because I was like, I didn't realize he was in the room. So when I seen Hov there, I was like, oh.
The music execs tried to make it up to Jay-Z, and Pimp C eventually agreed to do the song, but while the song went on to be a bigger success than imagine the relationship between the two of them was done, Pimp never talked about Jay-Z and never even considered the success of Big Pimpin' as something to be proud of. But let's get into the heart of it, because the music wasn't the only reason there was beef between Pimp C and Jay-Z.
C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet. You look like you done seen it, Marvin. You done seen it. Marvin seen it.
Tell him who it is.
Hey, man, tell him who it is. I wish we still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of it.
According to insiders close to the situation like Pimp and Ken, there was something going on between Beyonce and Pimp C back in the day, and it isn't just something that Beyonce can put in the past and forget, because there is a whole private tape featuring the two of them that no one wants coming out before he passed. Pimp C got bolder, calling out execs in the industry like Diddy for being on the DL and making the lives of everyone a living hell because of it.
Doing a lot of fugazi shit out here, man. You know what I'm saying? These niggas that flip-floppy, they pitching and they catching with these boys, and they doing all so. And if you gay, that's cool, but be gay and come on out and be that. Don't be in front of us and act like a straight-up G, and then you get over here and you let these boys bust up your back. But you know, it's gonna come to...
As someone who'd been grinding in the industry for a while, he also called out music execs that was straight up ripping artists off, putting them in bad situations, and basically making them slaves to the record labels for the rest of their lives. And no one fits that description better than Diddy. Pimp C never liked Jay-Z because of what went down with Tupac, and his dislike for him only grew when he saw how easy it was for Jay to F over his friends and business associates like Dame Dash. As long as there was something in it for him, his dislike grew so much that he started talking about the tape he had of Beyonce and made it clear several times that it existed, and he wasn't afraid to release it. That's why folks are saying that Pimp C's death was a power move and a very deliberate takeout.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
When Pimp C was found dead in 2007, reports concluded that his death was just an accident and was caused by his heavy usage of lean, a combination of codeine and promethazine, along with his pre-existing condition of sleep apnea. But what makes this so sketchy is that when they found Pimp's body, he was on his knees and laying like he was praying, and there was also blood around where he was staying. Why would there be blood everywhere? If he died of a drug overdose and sleep apnea, some of y'all would say that this is just a big conspiracy theory. But when multiple people are saying the same thing, you do have to look at things differently. Can't convince me otherwise that Beyonce planned this tour around Diddy's trial so she can save face. He was found on his knees. Sleep apnea affects you more when you're lying down. Wake TF up. I don't know why they want Beyonce to be a goody-goody. She's been to those Diddy parties and her own hubby's parties too. But what do y'all think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe. And if you think this is crazy, click on the next video.